And I guess we are
Yeah, we should be. Let me check. Have we put a delay on?
I think there must be some latency. Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Awesome.
I'll just wait for some viewers to join in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
Did you guys like have your fats all completed now or something?
Done. Our next
For
semester
fall semester,
started.
yeah.
Okay, fall is done, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, awkward period of like 2 weeks where you don't know what subject you will fail.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel so lot of that, especially going for fests and all
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
attendance.
And then people will get like half of the people will get the results, half of the people will not get the results.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
How's music club scenes
okay.
now? Like, there's been like we feel old now.
Old,
We
fully
we
old.
shall we shall talk
Since the
about it
lockdown,
after post stream.
yes, actually, we have a lot to talk about.
So that
We have
Got it.
lots to talk about.
whenever we start
Okay.
talking, right, it's like back in those times we were. I mean, it feels old, man.
Okay,
It
we
feels like
started
post
getting
COVID.
people in.
Yeah.
How many viewers do we have? 9. It
We
says
have
9.
around, yeah, these people. Okay.
I think if
Hey
we had
guys, so
20,
like
we'd start.
just put in your questions in the comments and like we shall go through them later once our questions are done.
Just put a message in the chat box and pin the message, no?
Yep.
Abhinav, I had a question like,
Yeah.
how did you record the drums for Mirai?
I didn't. I basically programmed all of them.
Bro, ask
Right,
him how he
on what?
recorded his guitars.
CD, right?
Ask me how I recorded my guitars.
Yeah.
How did you record the guitars?
Um, so my guitars were in 2017. There's a video. Okay, in 2017, when I was a fresher in college, I had like a live performance, and that live thing I had like recorded. So from 2017 to 2022, that my DI signal from my guitar and what I had played that night for some UGC night was sitting in my laptop. And at that time, my so currently my guitar is all like messed up. So I used that DI signal, and then I programmed some of the guitars, I guess. And then yeah, and then
Yeah,
Balaji did his magic, Gagan did his magic, and then yeah, it was all done.
the producer, the producers are saving us, bro.
Yeah.
Adit, soon you're gonna go out of business.
Nah, bro, you still need someone to write proper drum parts. Come on.
Yeah. I go to Thapa for drum
Okay.
parts. Like if I need a drum part, like pop rock drum part, I go to Thapa. I'm like, bro, I have an idea. I
See,
can
see,
program
Pranav,
drums for this.
I'm still in business, okay? Don't do me like that.
Uh, okay.
Right,
I
we've hit
think
20 views. I think we should start now.
we can start. Yeah, they'll start joining. Yep.
Pranav, can you pin that message?
Yeah. I'm going into the dashboard. One second.
Right, should we start then?
You start. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. I'm Adit. I'm with Pranav, and we're your hosts for today's event. Today we have among us two of our super seniors from the 21 batch of VIT, both of whom are great musicians that all of us in the loop look up to.
So just a quick introduction of about both of them. We have Balaji Sri, the first guest, who's probably the first person that I spoke to in the club. And the first time I heard his song Tolevin Il Nanum, it just blew my mind. And I annoyed him into giving me the stems and he remixed the song. And
I
that
still
was
have
like
the message.
so that was like that was my first Spotify release, and ever since then I've annoyed him a lot, asking for feedbacks and like to collaborate with me in a lot. And he has a lot of songs that I just love. Wait, she is also one of my favorites. And Abstract Beats is probably one of the most creative pieces of art that VIT Music Club has ever put out. And I'm so glad that you were able to join us today.
Thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling me here. I'm glad that I'm part of this.
Second guest we have is he started off as one of the best guitarists in the music club. He then spent countless nights in the music room till 1 a.m. behind the drum set. What came as a result was one of the best drummers the music club has ever had. He also plays open handed, which makes my respect for him at least 10 times greater. And since passing out, he's released two singles, one in collaboration with Gagan, the Candid Crude, and Anshul. And the second single is just a solo work. And he's also released an EP. All of the tracks that I've mentioned are complete bangers, especially Mirai, which is the collaboration that they did. You should all check them out on Spotify. They're out there on the major streaming platforms. So, among us today is former General Secretary of VIT Music Club and someone whose journey towards drumming specifically inspires me a lot. Uh, Please, let's have some love for Abhinav Thapa.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thank you so much for having me. And again, it's a huge, huge honor to return to this club and talk to kids, talk to all the people, and hopefully help people in their musical journey, specifically in context of this college and music club. Yeah.
Glad to have both of you on.
Okay. So the first question, probably the most cliche as well. What was your music club journey like ever since you joined the club? Uh, Anyone who wants to go first?
Thapa.
Balaji, you go first.
Dude, Thapa has way more experience than me. Like Thapa go.
Right. Okay, where do I start? Music club journey. Okay. So I was in 2017 when I came up. There were, I think I was walking back. My first, what do you call it? My block was N block, and I was walking back, and I saw a couple of people with guitars, and that was what near Enzo or something. So I stopped them and I asked them about the music club, and at that time I was like probably like releasing a lot of stuff online on my Instagram and other places, YouTube as well. So I somehow like found some guy's Instagram, like I stalked I don't know, VIT like music club or something. I found some guy's Instagram and I was like, I need to get into the music club. Give me the number of whoever is responsible for taking recruits or recruitment, etc. So we had a senior called Saptarshi, and I contacted him, and he was like, "So I'm a part of the music club, and then you can send me your stuff." And then I showed him like this is my music, this is what I like, prog metal. And at that time, I also had long hair, so probably he guessed what kind of music I liked. So yeah, I definitely reached out to the people in the club and I started talking, and then I showed up for events. I think the best thing I did was to show up for events and help, especially even now you must feel the need for people when you shift stuff from greenhouse back to your back to your musical. So that that time when you shift your stuff to greenhouse, the music equipment, the drum kit, and the time when you shift it back, I used to use that time to talk to all the seniors and just eat their brains about the music club and how does one get in. So the first thing I got to know was I cannot get in. Why? Because it's the first semester, freshers are not allowed. I was not too, happy with that, but I was like, okay, let's see what can be done. And then somehow there was a band practicing. I think it was a Tarshi Bhaiya's band, and there was a drummer and someone. So he just called me. He's like, you can play the guitar and you can like try out. And then I played the guitar and they liked it. And they were like, don't tell this to anyone, but you're in. So yeah, in like 2 or 3 days, I just got in. And then after that, practices started for me in the music club. And then, yeah, in the beginning, I used to just, I mean, I definitely did not focus on studies at all. I should have, but it was all music club for me. Just music club, all the events, like helping the music club with the. So at that time, I think a lot of juniors right now must be facing this as well. A lot of juniors might not get the chance to perform or be on that stage or even help. So I was at that stage where I was just practicing. I did not get any opportunity to like play with any band exactly. And also I would say like help the band out during events. So yeah, I kept going. I kept talking to seniors and building relationships. And then yeah, I think after a month or 2 months, I was like helping the music club with the sound and everything. And then finally got I guess a chance to go to a competition. So even before performing in VIT itself, they were like, let's go to Pondicherry. So I don't know if you guys go to PIMS anymore, but at that time we had PIMS. So we used to the first. I think Balaji, it was the first fest, right? PIMS for us.
For me, it was Jipma. Like because
Jipmer,
I
okay.
joined late, right? Like in the second semester,
Yeah. So
I
PIMS
went
used
to
to happen before Jipmer.
procrastination.
Yeah. So PIMS used to happen before Jipmer. So we went to PIMS. We performed and everything, and we lost in a very bad way. And that's a very funny story. But yeah, we lost in a very bad way. Our drummers drum kit was, while we were playing, our drummer's drum kit like started dismantling on its own. So yeah, my first my first competition experience as well was not that great. But yeah, that was how I started my journey in the club. And that was, yeah, within like 1 or 2 months. So yeah, I got off to a, I would say, like a flying start. So Balaji, if you can share how you started, I guess.
So mine was quite simple. It's not that complicated. So auditions came up, I went, played, and they apparently liked it. I got in. So before even music club, I was in a blues band in 11th and 12th grade. I mean, I think that helped me to get in. And so once I came the club, it was too overwhelming for me. Like there were too many bands. We didn't know like what band to join. And then me, Utkarsh, and few more people started this band called One Day. We were probably we started band called I think it's
Shred the
Strings.
needle.
Shred the Needle, yeah, Shred the
Yeah.
Needle, and I think it's probably the worst band we ever started in any music club history. So we started that, and we had like slots. We booked a lot of slots out of curiosity, right? You get in the club and you just want to explore. So we just booked a lot of slots. We started practicing. That's when I met Shaksham, and he actually wanted a keyboardist, so joined the procrastination team. And we went to Jipma. That was my first fest actually, and that was probably the validation for me. Like I didn't actually know whether I can play good. Okay, like everybody has the doubts, right? Their own doubts. So I go to Jipmer and we play and we get first place in Eastern competition. I was like, bro, okay, this is it. Then I wait and I get special mention for keyboard. Then I'm like, okay, now I'm doing it seriously. Then I started like practicing a lot. I mean, everything comes with practice. So take
Yeah.
slots, practice with lot of different. I've been in too many bands, right? Like we start a new
Too
band
many,
and go for
Balaji.
competition. I've been through a lot, bro, in VET at least. Then in second year, I was part of this band called um, what is the band called? I don't remember the name. So we went there, and then it was bad actually. So then I again before the fest I started practicing with procrastination. We go again. That's what happens. Like we go to band, then we go to the competition, then we form bands, make OCs. I've done that before. Like there was this one time when I started this thing called One Day. Okay, like it was 10 in the night and next day morning was the competition. So we like let's go. Like I mean, it's just very cheap entry, right? So we could just go and try out stuff. So me and Abhay sit and we started writing OCs. So we wrote like three OCs. Then me, Uday, and Abhay, we sat. We made some. It was okay, it was decent for like 3 hours, 4 hours OC. We make, then we go to competition, then we win like second place or something. Then we're like, what is this? Then that was again another validation for me. Then it started off. Then I joined a lot more bands. Then just competitions after competitions. Then you get good. That actually what happened. That's basically it.
Surely has been a journey. Jeez. So, the second question we have for both of you is what was your most memorable fest experience? Like something that you'll be telling your kids later.
Hmm.
For me, probably it's Sarang.
You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, that's basically what I just told, right? Like we started an OC, we
Oh,
started
okay.
reading OC like a night before the competition,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
us getting placed. We didn't even have
bro,
Uh,
time to
what?
practice with the stuff and all. Like, yeah, we just. And Vedic was also there. Okay, there's this percussionist called Vedic. I'm like, I'll give you cues on stage, start playing pause and all. We actually
Yeah,
bang
yeah.
on. We're like, cue, stop, everybody passed, and it just went on. It was quite good. It was
And no,
quite
I
good.
don't think that was the first time you made a band the last minute. What was that band that you made for Jipmer in the last minute?
That was also called One Day, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
was. We again started
That
another
was
band called
not
One Day.
before the competition. That was while
30 minutes
like one or
before
two
the
bands were
competition.
performing in the same competition. We were like, okay, we want to enter, and then while other bands were performing, we were making OCs. So yeah, that's Balaji.
Yeah, and Thapa was playing drums there. So
Yeah,
me, Thapa,
Brother.
and it was Abhishek, and who else? It was not the same lineup as the old One Day, but Uday
yeah,
was obviously a part of it. I remember that guy is like crazy. Okay, like he starts up. I mean, he's into everything. Like you just say, "Do you want to try this out?" He's like, "Yes, I'm in," and we just start writing OCs, go to competition stuff.
yeah. Sarang was nice for you because you placed, because you won.
Yeah,
Well,
please.
I wouldn't
But One
say
Day was
same for
good
Sarang.
experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't say same for Sarang. Let me think. I think yeah, I think Jipmer would be the most special one. The reason Jipmer is the most special one because it was my what second year? Yeah, it was my second year, and after 1 year of playing guitars and everything, I had just shifted to playing drums. And yeah, I had this period where I was playing drums and I was practicing in the music room and everything. And the Jipmer was my first competition. So I felt so like my band was not supposed to go, but an opportunity came up. The like Mehul, who was the drummer for Candies in Chaos, he wasn't able to go for some reason. So Sarthak asked me, Sarthak Lavri, he asked me that, okay, can you play drums for Candies in Chaos? I was like, fine. So for I would say what 1 week, in 1 week I had to learn their set and learn drumming at the same time. So I'm learning drumming. I have to learn their set, which was like 3 or 4 songs, and then I had to be extremely tight with them because they were like really great musicians and a really great band. So I had like there was this standard I had to maintain or something, and then yeah, so night slips, a lot of night slips, a lot of bleeding hands, bleeding feet, and I used to have a short notebook in which I used to write down every time signature that we're playing, every pauses that like different pauses that we have, different accents that we are giving in a certain place, etc., etc. We had like manual in one song we had like a manual tempo increase and decrease, and we had to like manually take it up, manually take it down, and still be in sync. And yeah, all these things, all these technicalities, as you write down in that little notebook. And then the culmination of all of that after like 1 week of sleep deprivation was that when we went to Jipmer, there was 40K on the line for the first prize, and we were 4 people. So the band had 4 people. So obviously, if we won, we would get 10K each. So yeah, I was like very nervous, and then we went up. I probably rushed my tempo a bit because getting on stage and being a drummer, you tend to you like rush a little bit and you don't feel it exactly. So at that time we didn't use metronomes while playing. So yeah, went up on stage, played. When I like got down the stage, I was like, I probably had a very bad performance and all that. But then they announced the winners, and then we won. And then I got the best percussionist, best drummer, etc. And then yeah, that was my first competition and first performance as a drummer, and then I won a competition straight away. So yeah, I think Jepmer will always be one of my favorites, and the vibes were like really good vibes there. So
Actually,
yeah,
do you guys still go to fests and all? Like,
Yeah, we just
We yeah,
starting to go to
we do.
fest.
We just started. Yeah,
man,
other
you're missing
colleges
out on a
just
lot.
started opening up. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
miss out on a lot due to COVID. Okay, so continuing with the music journey, what has it been like for you guys after VIT Music Club? After you guys passed on?
Balaji, go ahead. You've been doing the
For
most
me, it was
music.
for me it was all about like sitting and producing, right? So I didn't exactly like initially in my music journey. So I've always wanted to make Tamil songs. Like the thing is, like in V8 Music Club, I didn't actually get an opportunity to make Tamil songs. And like only that was only the time when I was with Procrastination. I think we made two Tamil songs, I think. And yeah, so that actually helped me, and the music club experience actually helped me to sit, complete a song in like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, like whatever the time frame you set up, right? Before music
Hmm.
club it was different for me. It was like I
Hmm.
couldn't write OCs, to be frank. Like I didn't know how to write OCs. Like
Same.
I learned it all from looking at people jamming around, looking at people writing OCs in the night, looking, I mean, it all comes when you see people doing the stuff what they like to, right? So that experience actually helped me after I mean the post VIT Music Club. So I started writing OCs. Initially it was hard for me to write because the music we I listen to is very different from uh, the music I make. And the music I make is is not always the music I want to listen to, right? So it's like I don't have proper critics for my music. So I thought, okay, one night I was like, I'll make light music. Like I made a Koba melody, like which was like very acoustic, and I'm used to that in V8 Music Club. So I sat a night, recorded guitars, recorded piano, recorded vocals, sat and mixed the whole thing and put it down on Spotify, and people actually liked it, and I was quite surprised. Okay, people do listen to Tamil music, which is not actually generic Tamil music. So then I was like, okay, let's start making songs. Then I sat down, started writing. I mean, for me, lyric writing is still a hard thing, but back then I had inspiration and all. So back then I could write lyrics. I started writing, and then it all happened. Definitely, music club. I mean, music club helped me in becoming who I am right now. Like at least the 80% of who I am is coming from music club experience. That's definitely the thing. Tapa, you?
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, definitely I have to give credit to music club, because when I came into the music club, I just had gotten into production, and at that point, like yeah, in the I would say metal scene, band scene, not many people were recording themselves. Not many people were like at least trying to program some of the music that they make. So when I came in, I did that for like one of my senior bands in the bands that I played with, and that's where the journey started, and that's where we like Balaji said, when it comes to composition and writing music, and the level of music that we needed to write, that we knew that okay, we stand here, we have a certain level, and then we need to like learn, play, practice, increase our standards. So all of that happened within the music club. And then as time went on, we became more and more polished, and the more and more polished we became, we also became like much more efficient. So like Balaji told, much more efficient in making music, and respecting time, and getting things done quickly. So recording and giving like takes that were like flawless takes in a way, if you're playing guitar, etc., etc. So yeah, after that, after the I would say second year, I think, yeah, In the second year, I was like when I started with Durvasa. I think that was like with Obsidian, we released our stuff on Spotify later, I think. But before that, I just released it on YouTube, just just watching tutorials on online and everything. And then with Durvasa, we started to go in a way towards a more professional direction. So we hired like a professional mixing, mastering engineer and everything. So Durvasa like was one of the more professional ones that we did. And then later with Obsidian also we hired a professional to do our music, like to mix and master our music. So after that experience, that okay, this is how we do stuff. And then when we hired someone, and then getting to know how a professional does his work and how how it sounds. So after that, I like after college, I would say, yeah, after college, I was dead set that I can do this. The first thing that comes into mind, that we can do this. Balaji, like Balaji agrees,
Exactly.
like that if
With
for example,
confidence.
yeah, if Polyphia can sound good, if people can sound good, why cannot we? What are they doing that we cannot be doing? So slowly and steadily learning about compression, learning about gates, learning about reverb,
I know,
etc,
right?
etc. Like literally geeking about smallest stuff, like okay, what kind of compression, what should be the ratio, and all these things. When
Exactly.
we
We used to
geeked
share
about
music a
all.
lot. Like whenever I make
Yeah.
something, I send it to Tapa. When Tapa makes something, he sends to me, and we be a good critic. Like we say, like I like this part to be like this, and why not this? We explore a lot. I'm like
Yeah.
like before Mirai, right? Like you were talking about the song called Mirai. He sent me a loop, and I made this polyphia kind of beat like on Mirai, and he liked it.
Mhm.
But then the problem was like why not make it the song how it is right now and then add a small trappy part at the end. That was
Yeah.
that was a little idea. But yeah, and another thing I also wanted to add up is like when you're in VIT Music Club, you write OCs for performance, right? Basically like for the crowd, you write like the performance, you just play it once and they listen to it once. But when you start producing music, they have to listen to it a lot more time. I mean, you'll have to write music so that people listen to it a lot more times, right? So having those ear candies, so that like whenever they listen to the music, they listen to something new. And that I mean that realization is, I think, a game changer. At least it
Yeah.
was for me.
Yeah, yeah,
I also
definitely. And I think that's, yeah, these are the things that after college, when we produced our own music, when we released our own music, these are the experiences and the learnings that, from our college times, that helped us to, first of all, the efficiency and the time frame in which we are able to get music out. So whenever we work with each other, we are able to, record something, get a, prototype, like a demo going in like a couple of days. And then we could finish, if everything goes well, then we can probably finish a song and get it up in like out on Spotify and everything in like 3-4 days max. So yeah, that efficiency and the, I would say, the ear. So Balaji knows this, having an ear for the right parts and the right kind of knowing that if a song is like too short, too long, do we need to add some kind of ear candy and all these things to our songs. So yeah, that's how music is going for us. Like currently, obviously, Balaji is also working and I'm also working, so work takes a lot of our time. But whenever we find time, we quickly spin up a session. Like I send him some drums, or he like sends me some loops, and then we are able to get a song out really quickly. So yeah.
That's nice. So, are there any upcoming releases since you guys keep sending each other parts?
Um, I mean, I'm
Mm,
working on a lot of songs right now. I mean, I stopped releasing for like a year now, I think. That's just
Hmm.
because, not because I stopped making music. That's the difference. Like, I make music, I just want to improve. Like, I still don't think it's the right time for me to release stuff. So, I'm improving every day. I mean, I make songs, at least a song a month. So that way I keep in touch with what I love. So yeah, I still have. I mean, I've sent Pranav a lot of songs. So Pranav probably knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for a abstract beats part two.
Yeah. So I have stuff ready, but yeah, I'm not sure whether it'll get released anytime soon. Probably like next 2 months will be no release. I don't know.
So you want to
We'll see.
like make it for a finer product. Is that what?
See, the stuff I make, I'm not really sure if I want to release. Like,
Got
Hmm.
it.
you get it right. Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
this what
Yeah.
defines me as an artist? That is the only question I have right now. So because I'm exploring on a lot of genres, right? See, I make Mirai with him. I make Tamil pop. I make EDMs. I make a lot. I mean, I'm just exploring my sound right now. I just when I go in, I just want to go in bang on. So yeah, I've done my experimentation in COVID. I've released songs. I've seen critics. I've got a little validation. So yeah, I think I still have time to explore and then release.
Mm. Yeah, Rolling Stone India is not a little validation. It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, I think yeah, I'm listening to a lot of music these days, different kind of music. I still have a lot of would say old DIs and old performances that I've recorded. So I used to most of my I guess material I have in a folder sitting in Q Block in a what 4 bed, and then just recording using their Ibanez's. I have yeah, I have a lot of stuff in I guess in the garage in a way that I can use. But yeah, at this point, I just feel that I don't really like personally. Whenever I release music or make music, I up till now I haven't really cared about what other people would think, what the critics might say, and also like literally I don't really care. So I release music and make music according to what I would like to listen. For example, Adit, Periphery, right? So if I want to make something very genty or something that gets me a stank face, I'm gonna make a really stanky face song, and then I'm gonna release it. And yeah, that's going to be it. I don't really, care about anything else. Obviously, when I release my EP and everything, and then getting the validation from Rolling Stone India and having it featured, all these things are very very nice. But even Balaji would agree that making a song that you yourself would like to listen is in a way the biggest validation you can get.
I know,
So
right?
yeah, for me, I think I'll probably try to make what do you say, a math rock John, but a bit more heavier, kind of a EP next. For that, I'll probably have to buy a new, and like a Telecaster or something. But
Mm.
but yeah, I think that's the direction I'll go with the next EP. And who knows, maybe the EP after that will be a 9 stringer, drop F, something like that. So you never know. So yeah, I'm just taking it slow right now, just listening to music, getting all that information in, getting all those time signatures and polyrhythms in, so that when later I'm composing, I can, quickly pop them off and write using those. So yeah, that's how it's going right now.
How does that sound? A completely detuned nine string,
Yeah,
like
it's
all
just
the way
bass. It's
down.
just low. It's just low.
It's just low. Yeah.
Yeah,
With the rock bottom on the speakers, I'm like, hit
yeah.
F something.
So low, it
Stankiest
sounds
face.
almost like the Omnific.
It's
Yeah,
like Skrillex on speakers. Like you hit the
yeah,
Yes.
bottommost sub with a
yeah.
gent. I mean, like, that sounds crazy. I would like to listen to it,
Yeah,
Thapa.
same.
Yeah.
Um, just a small question from the chat. So Nitish Aro is waiting for the Candid Crudes album.
Same.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'll be out.
and there's out soon. Uh, and we have one more question for Abhinav from Amog. Amog asked, Abhinav, do you consider yourself more of a drummer now or more of a guitarist?
Hmm. Uh, I'll always be a guitarist, no matter what. I'll always be a guitarist by heart. But at the end of the day, I am a musician, and at this point,
Yeah.
I can probably also, with the help of Balaji, I can probably also play a bit of keyboards now. Like when I compose synth parts, I can like play a little bit of keyboard, like key parts and everything, bass as well. So I guess now I would consider myself more of a like a guitarist, like always have, but more of a musician. I guess just being an all-round musician. And even Balaji at this point, I don't think is limited. He also plays guitar, and really nice guitars, by the way. So at this point, you're not limited by instruments, but yeah, just all-around musicians. That's what we want to be, and hopefully we can be better musicians. Yeah.
Okay, great. So coming back to the VIT Music Club,
Mm-hmm.
who is one senior that you guys had a very great impact on you, music wise, or like anything in general? A senior who had the biggest impact on you.
For
It's a
me, it
very tough
was,
question.
yeah, it was two, three people. Like for me, it was Saksham mainly. So initially, when I came to music club, right, all I used to listen to is pop, a little bit of jazz because I was in blues band before that. So when I started like interacting with Saksham, he sends me a playlist. Okay, like I start listening to metal now. I start listening to everything. I mean, I there was this guy who played classical violin. So he sends
Abhinav.
me random playlists. It was all weird stuff. Exactly. I mean, that's how you can put in words. It was all crazy stuff. Like there was a song which was made out of feedbacks from Mike. I'm like, bro, like who thinks of that? I mean, I started listening to crazy stuff. After that, I meet Sarthak. Then Sarthak he introduces me to this whole world of gent, everything, rock, math rock, prog. I meet Abhinav Thapa was also another guy. He also sends me a lot of good stuff. So yeah, it was all a lot of people trying to, I mean, help each other. There were a lot of people in VIT to like get inspiration from. That's one thing I lack right now. Like I don't have like that entire big group of people who are enthusiastic about music and start making music. Now I lack that a lot. I mean, back in VIT we were like, I see Thapa taking slots and practicing. I'm like, okay, I'm also inspired now. I love to take slots, practice, get good. I mean, it was all healthy competition, right? We all support each other. Like whenever Tapa goes on stage, I'm like, bro, I'll help you with the sound and all. Like we it was very healthy, and we all used to have very good, what do you say, informative conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
agree.
actually helps you like make music after you, I mean, pass out
Yeah,
of VIT. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Geeky conversations like when you're walking back from a slot from
oh
the
my
new
god,
music room or for the old music room, you're walking back to what N block, Q block, and all the time you're either
discovering
practicing
artists.
polyrhythm, right? You're either
Yeah,
practicing polyrhythm, you're like in one hand, you're doing that while
the
walking,
micro
looking like complete
passes.
morons. You're looking like complete morons, and then Balaji is talking about how we can, pull off what did you call it? Microtonal stuff. How you could pull
Yeah,
off that, and how could you pull off yeah, a lot of different things. So yeah, those kind of conversations. Yeah, going back to the questions about the seniors, I think it's very hard to say that one person or anything, because it's a collective impact that our seniors had on us. But like, just to name a few: Satak Dilavri, Saptarshi, Mehul, and then we have Swaroop, and then we had Anjane, and then yeah, my seniors, like my bandmates, like Nimit Bhaiya, Karan Bhaiya,
Yeah.
Shaurya Bhaiya. I can go on and on. So in the music club, the best part was you take the best of a person, and then you take the best of from another person, and then you take all those pieces and you bring it all together. For example, um, from Mehul, I understood what it's like to play drums tight and on time and play drums with a certain like dynamics, right? From Anjane Bhaiya, I learned that how you should like compose, and how you should like play in a metal band, and how your feet should work. So a lot of technicalities on the feet. So if I'm doing the heel toe, if I'm doing triplets, if I'm doing quadruplets, how I should be doing them, what should they sound like. If I'm doing triplets, they should all three hits should sound like the exact same. And then we had Sarthak would be, more on the composing side, that we need to do something different. We need to, like take a simple riff, and then we need to chop it up into different polyrhythms and, different odd times, and then when it all comes together, it sounds really good. So something like that. So
It's
every senior
crazy.
had some bit of information and something that we could always learn from. And VIT Music Club is always a place where, even if you're a fourth year, even if you are like a, like a super, like, senior, you can always learn from your juniors as well, because we had, so many juniors as well come, and they used to have their own, like, we during our time, I think, Balaji, we got a lot of like great vocalists, right?
Actually,
A lot of great vocalists. So yeah, so we always learn not only from our seniors, from our juniors as well. So taking little bit of, I would say, greatness from everyone in the club, and then, trying to bring it all together. So yeah, that's what our seniors did for us.
one more thing I'd like to add up is like when I went in to VIT Music Club, I was a keyboardist. So talking about performing on stage with keyboard, I
Mm.
look at other bands having like different patches and how they set it up for stage. That was
Mm.
a game changer for me. I see
Yeah.
Nimit. I always he's a guy I look up to, like when it comes to patches. He has the stereo separated patches and all playing on both the speakers, like set it up for. eh,
Hmm.
It's mind blowing when you think about it when you are in first year, right? So that
Yeah.
actually inspired me a lot. Then uh, then I listened to what was the band we used to listen to, like it was an old metal band from VIT. They had dubstep and all.
Oh, got it. Yeah, yeah. I know what the band is. I'm just forgetting the name right now. But yeah, they used to have dubstep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So then I get inspired, then I started doing dubstep. I mean, it was not crazy parts, but small bits and pieces I started trying out on stage. Yeah, that actually helps you. I've never met the band actually personally, but I just listen
Yeah.
to the music, get inspired. That's what
Yeah. I think
happened.
you saw that Greenos video, right? The Greenos performance
Yeah,
video
yeah.
where
The
they
guy
did
with the
that.
bass guitar doing dubstep.
Yeah. The guy in the bass, he's doing like something like dubstep.
Yeah,
And then
good stuff.
in that video, I was looking at solely at the drummer, the way he was playing and
Yeah.
his, kicks. So yeah, that was a great learning. And not only learning from our own bands, but like when going to competitions and looking at other people, just getting all that information. And but yeah, I think the performance part. So Balaji mentioned earlier, right? So if we are performing and Balaji is on stage and something goes wrong, so something goes wrong with his cord or patches, I run up to the stage, hook it up and everything, make sure that the adapter and everything is okay. Mehul used to do that for me. Like we used to, like all the drummers, we used to do that for each other. So I don't know if it's still there in the music club or not, but apparently when we were there, all the drummers, even if one drummer is performing and no one else is performing, all the drummers will be there. I don't know how the equipment is right now, but at that point, our cymbals were all cracked. The stands, they, if you hit them once, they would, just fall. The
All
stands,
out.
It still
right?
remains the same.
It's
Yeah, it
still the
remains the
same.
same, right? So sometimes even the snare, you won't believe, sometimes even the snare, right? So even the snare would just, just tilt itself. So we used to have
Still
like two, three
happens.
drummers. They
I
used to
still
run up on
remember the
stage.
time, bro.
Yeah, and then used to run up
Remember
on
we
stage. They used to
fixing snares before
fixing,
the
yeah,
competition.
yeah, fixing the crash, fixing the ride. And sometimes like there has been moments where a cymbal would just keep falling, so a person would just, like a drummer, another drummer would just sit on stage, hold the stand manually until the whole set is over.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we used to have that kind of like, and no junior senior between them. So if I'm performing, Mehul would come and hold it, like no ego, nothing.
It was
So
very
no junior
healthy.
senior, musicians helping each other. Yeah.
That's really
A
cool.
lot of it we can relate to a lot of it because half of the thing still remains the same.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not like it's not just as bad, like, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
symbols falling off. And since there's
Yeah.
no, what do you call it? All the symbol sleeves are broken now, so the
Yeah.
every symbol is getting keyholed now.
Yeah. Yeah, cymbal sleeves are always broken. Like even during my time, when I was so I think in second year I was like the maintenance head or something. So at that point, I made a huge budget of like what 1 or 2 lakhs, and we'll get so many cymbals, zildjian cymbals, and then we have so many sleeves and everything. what, within 1 year everything is gone. Yeah.
So there were times when we used to sit fix amps. Joshua and all used to sit
Joshua,
fix
yeah.
amps before the
Bass amps,
performance
yeah.
and all. There were times when we slept in music club in the room.
Room, yeah.
Yeah,
My
with
God.
crazy times. Bro.
Especially doing Rivera,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So completely unrelated, but what are the top three artists you currently listen to?
Right. I listen to so much, I'll have to check my Spotify.
Exactly. I listen to a lot.
Yeah,
Take
I'll
your
just
time.
have
Take
to
your time.
fire up my Spotify real quick.
Let me see.
Hmm.
Oh, there was. I listened to Jacob Collier a lot. I mean, every time
Oh,
you listen to a
nice.
song, you learn a lot. You see. Then right now, I'm listening to this artist called Max. Have you guys? Wait. Oh, wait. Wasn't talking
It's
about
not
this.
visible.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Let me take a blur. Have you guys listen to this artist?
Nice. Color vision.
Yeah. So I'm
Mm.
listening to
Nope.
this. Yeah. This
Oh, let's go. Hyper
hyperpop
pop
gang.
represent. Hyper pop gang.
Hyperpop.
Nice.
Americans, yeah, of course.
One more.
Polyphia all the time. Wait.
Nice.
Yes.
I have. Oh, I listen to Tennyson a lot.
Yeah,
Tennyson.
Tennyson.
Then
Mm-hmm.
Tech Vision. Have you heard of this guy called Tech Vision?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No.
So see, this was my last grade. Yeah,
Nice.
I was listening to
Nice.
Mm,
our
Um,
soundscape yesterday. It was mind blowing.
nice.
um,
For
and
me,
Abhinav, what about you?
the I don't know, Chad music from Bring Me the Horizon, when when I'm
I know,
lifting
right?
weights in the gym, when I'm deadlifting, when I'm squatting, definitely Bring Me the Horizon all the time in the gym.
Oh,
And then I have
I
Spirit
know,
nice.
right?
Box. Yeah,
Spirit
and then I
Box.
have
Yeah.
Oh,
Spirit Box. Yeah, and then so I'm gonna name a few here: Spirit Box, and then I have Architects, and then Polyphia, of course. Not too much, but it's there.
Periphery
Polyphia,
is there.
yeah, Periphery. I think there are a few newer ones. So, yeah, Dance Gavin Dance, and
Oh my
then
God.
yes, and
It is.
then who else? I'm forgetting the name. Mm, Shrezzers. There's this band called Shrezzers, and
I need
then
to write this down somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shrezzers. So basically, Shrezzers is a like a, I would say, melodic shred kind of a band, and in it you have a saxophone player, and there are saxophone solos
Ooh,
in songs,
Mm.
Oh,
and
ooh.
it's like really
Have you
really
heard of
good.
Panzer Ballet?
Nope.
Oh, they're just like that, but they're like really old.
Okay,
What's his
okay.
name? Obscura's drummer, Sebastian Lancer.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He was part of them. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
all like full math rock, like
Mm-hmm.
odd time polymeter, everything you think of, it's all there.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll just like pop a playlist called Japanese math rock or something. I will not
Moonlight.
understand anything, but then the kind of music that it has is like it really, for some, like I don't know, like for some applications, studying, or just sitting and chilling, just listen to Japanese anime music, anime math rock or something like that. So one band would be what, One Ok Rock is a very famous Japanese band. So yeah, that's one of the bands that I listen to. Nothing Korean.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing Korean, please.
yeah,
we, we we at the music club right now like to stay away from that entire topic because
yeah. When I was
there are
the
Or
Gen
do
Z,
it.
when I was the
you
Gen
know,
Z, when Adit's batch just came in, I
yeah,
remember, I remember, I remember that people were
wonderful times.
up in arms about BTS, up in arms about like basically K-pop and
Yeah, remember the
rap.
time?
Everyone was fighting like, why do you hate K-pop? Like, I just hate K-pop. So yeah, I've been through that.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
I've seen
still
all.
like
Insert
the
I've
the
first
seen
insert
everything.
the what's that song called? Can you feel my heart in the background to that?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
it can be
just
kind
hate.
of hard.
Adit, it
Ultimately,
would
you
be better for you to be quiet about this.
I mean, thinking about K-pop, I mean, I really appreciate the production and the money that goes into it, but
yeah,
I'm the only thing that's concerning me is the credits. I mean, who makes stuff and who
The
gets the
word?
credit? Credit. Like
Hmm.
someone else makes
Cl-
the song and the
Right.
credit goes to someone else, and that's kind of
Yeah.
bad.
yeah,
The whole industry of K-pop is actually kind of really sad, but
Corporate.
that's a different can of worms.
Um,
yeah. Let's not open that kind of can of worms.
yeah,
But
let's not do that.
again,
These
Adit,
everyone has their own, has their
that's
own
true.
taste and everything. I have listened to a lot of K-pop during
I've
my
listened to
college
K-pop.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of K-pop during my college, especially BTS. So it's not like I hate that genre and everything, but yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, I still like
uh,
to listen to it, but I don't like what do you say? People talking a
the
lot
way it
about it.
works.
The way it
I
works
mean,
and
that's mainstream. So
yeah.
Adit has
Hmm.
had his fair
It's,
share of
I mean,
problems
K-pop
with
has
K-pop.
you can't deny
So
on this, right? K-pop has one of the best production
yeah,
houses.
yeah,
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
true,
yeah.
easily,
true,
easily,
they
true,
do
easily.
the
true.
best production easily.
But that's good. That's because there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the background. That's where
That's
they
fine.
obtain the money from.
That's
Adit,
Yeah, let's not talk
so much
about it.
vengeance.
yeah.
Right.
So
Moving
following
on.
up, moving on. We both have an individual question for both of you.
Yeah.
So for Balaji, what was the creative process like behind Vechi? And can you just like give us an idea of what it started with? And was there any alternate versions or something, or you got the main idea put together
Okay.
immediately?
So the first thing for Vechi was not actually Vechi before. Like I wrote another song, and it was actually for my friend. I wrote another song, and it was all piano ballad kind of song. It was little jazz piano, and it was like the song's verse is little like you can put it in jazz context. You can put it anywhere, right? It's just pentatonic. You can put it anywhere. So that's how the song started, and the chorus hit me later on. Like when I made a beat for my friend to rap on it. So it had that sample, basically the nadaswaram sample I used, and I made a trap, and I was randomly humming that song and this song, and it worked. I was like, okay, I'll sit and complete the production. It was all like very quick for me. Like it was all like 3 hours process for me to complete the whole song. Once the idea hits, right, you can just sit and complete the song. So it hit, and I completed the song actually 1.5 years before the release, and I was going through a lot of different versions of the song. Like I made like 6 different versions. I think Pranav knows it. I've sent you the other
Yeah, I
version,
have
right?
heard like an earlier version.
Previous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I made like 6 different versions of the same song, different beats, and trying out different stuff, trying out different type of vocal chains, and yeah, at the end I stuck to what I stuck. I mean, it is quite still controversial, right? The vocal chain I used in Vechi is too electronic to be Tamil. It's too, what do you say, it's not in the electronic, it's not in the pop, it's somewhere in between. The vocal
It's
chain is,
heavily processed. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's still heavily processed, and people are quite. I mean, people, whenever I go to, like it's not you singing, it's some electronic. I mean,
yeah.
it's heavily autotune stuff. I mean, I do like to listen to autotune stuff. Like it's not bad. I could have easily toned it down a bit, but yeah, it was just a creative choice I made back in the time when I released Vechi. Yeah, the vocal chain. Yeah, it is quite experimental, and otherwise I think and Vasant actually helped me mix and master the song. So when I sent him the stems, he was like, bro, the bass is not hitting hard and the kick is too soft for the type of song you're making. And I was like, bro, I think this is how the song should sound like. And he was like, okay, then I'll mix it. And when I released the song, people were like, bro, I think the kick could have been a little bit more, I mean, hard for a drop, and sub could have been better, and the bass could have been different. And I was like, it's fine. I wanted it to be mellow. There's nothing wrong in, for it to be mellow and like not very hard hitting, because it's after all a love song. So I didn't want it to be like very, what do you say, hard hitting drop and all. I
Punchy.
want
Yeah.
little soft drops, and it's not what people actually made when I released the song, right? It's not actually electric song, or it's not what do you say, pop song. It's somewhere in between. So it was just creative process I went through, and especially the vocal chain, man. Lot of controversies. Yeah, that's the thing.
Amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Adit?
Abhinav, what got you into drumming? And like, what like was your inspiration to start? Who was your favorite drummer? All that.
Mhm. Okay. So I think one of the major, there are a couple of major points that pushed me to drumming. One of them was when I was in Obsidian. The drummer of that band at that time, I was a first year, and Anjanay Bhaiya was a fourth year. So he was going to what, the US for masters and everything. Obviously was like leaving, and then we need to like get a drummer at that point. And the thing is, Anjanay Bhaiya was the one drummer that I felt that was the only one that I could that could understand the kind of riffs I was making, and the kind of music. So I'm sure like in the music club right now as well, people will find other musicians when you just get them right, you just get it. Like for example, Balaji just gets what I am trying to make, and the kind of stuff he needs from me. So he was that kind of musician that he just used to get my composing. So he left, and then we auditioned a couple of drummers, and then no one obviously knew how to play double bass and everything. And then no one knew even to how to play like proper metal music to start with. So I was like, maybe I can do it. He left his Tama double kicks with me, double pedal with me, and he's like, give this to the next drummer that will take over for us Obsidian. I was like, sure, I will. And then and then what I did was, it was, I think, end of the academic year, before fats, I had my you know there are those double pedals just lying in the corner of my room, and I was like, why cannot I play drums? And I just sat in my end block, facing the wall. I just added a padding to the wall, and then I started paddling like a penguin. Obviously at that time I didn't know what I was doing, but when I was doing that, I kind of felt that maybe I can do this. Maybe there's more to drumming than what I at that time thought. So Anjane Bhaiya like really inspired me. He told me that you can do it. Don't let anyone discourage you, because there were a lot of people. Even my own bandmates were like, obviously, how can you go from a lead guitarist to a drummer, right? You will be like, are you crazy? Of course. So all of them were like, you cannot play drums and everything. I was like, okay. Then I went back summer and everything, and that's when my inspirations definitely were. First of all, I have to definitely mention, I don't know, I think this drummer's parts. Now I forgot his name. Um, Porcupine Tree's drummer. I forgot his name right now.
Gavin Harrison.
Yes,
Gavin
Gavin
Harrison.
Harrison. So Gavin Harrison was the first drummer that I listened to and got inspired by. And Gavin Harrison's specific two videos. So one is I think Lazarus, and one is what, anesthetize, and then um, arriving somewhere but not here. So couple of his performances that are very very famous on YouTube. I watched them. So those things really inspired me to like, okay, I can make actually good sounding drum parts. Also have like really great hands and great feet at the same time. And then Gavin Harrison was one of them. And then who else? What can I say? Clay from Polyphia was one of them. And then I'm definitely forgetting the drummer from Lamb of God. Chris Adler was one of them. So Chris Adler, and his footwork was one of them. And then why do I keep forgetting names? The drummer from Ocean's 8 Alaska.
Oh
His
my
name is
God, Chris Turner. He is
Chris Turner.
unbelievably good.
Dude,
So
you should
Chris
watch them
Turner,
live.
and yeah,
Crazy
Chris
great.
Turner's feet and the power he generates while playing drums. Yeah, that was. And then during the later part, so after getting into it, the later part, I found Anup Sastri, well, like very very inspiring, because like even now, like I'm more into that monuments kind of like my composition. I tend to play those kind of riffs and tend to create those kind of drum parts. So Anup Sastri is like one of those drummers. But again, you just go on YouTube, you type Drumeo, and then you type drum master classes, and all those people that come up, the most famous videos and everything. I got inspired. So even female drummers. So for example, female drummers, I would say like Anika Niles, I think, is one of the female
Yes.
drummers. And there's one more female drummer, I'm forgetting her name as well, but she did this project, like an indie project. So I got inspired by her as well. And there's this one, like really cute, really like an Asian kind of a drummer, and
Oh,
she came on Drumeo. She plays double
yeah,
bass.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Some
I know who you're
Yuchi or
talking about.
something. I think some Japanese. I think she's Japanese. So I got
Yeah.
inspired by her as well. So yeah, those were a lot of
That's
a lot of
Senri
inspiration.
Kawaguchi, I think.
Yes, yes, yes. Senri. So a
She's
lot
a
of
really,
those,
really good.
a lot of these, drummers have inspired me. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay,
Lot in
so coming
common.
to the final question of the evening. Any advice that you guys have for us, for your juniors?
Balaji, go first.
So what I'll tell you the mistake I did. Keep your ears open, listen to everything, listen to everything, and listen to at least like 30 minutes of fresh music every day. I think that will help. Uh, and try out different stuff. That's probably would be my advice. Tapa.
Right. Well, mine would be, I don't know. In regards to like music and strictly music, I would say same thing. My I wasn't always theoretically very sound in music, but what I could say that my ears were really really good and still are. So training your ears, it's not I think it's more important to hear and know and understand, rather than knowing some theoretical knowledge. Because at the end of the day, when you guys go into a slot, when you book a slot, and everyone is coming into the slot with a different mindset, you want that slot should be very very efficient. So if I'm telling my drummer that I'm trying to do a gallop over here, I want some triplets, I want like you to follow me on the chugs. So it's automatically in a way understood that I need to follow him with my kicks. And uh, so a lot of these things, training your ear and knowing what sounds and what things you need from the other musicians for your parts, for what you are playing, and then also what you need to play in complement to in complement to what others are playing. So training your ears would be one of them. In the music club, only those bands have like succeeded who have had a dedicated group, equally dedicated group, I would say. So when you show up for slots, everyone should show up and keep all their whatever you feel. Because for me, and like Balaji and me, right, for us music club was the main part of college. And like
Exactly.
normal college was like just another class we were going to. So our main job was music club when we were in
So
like,
many
and that's
tests,
the
bro.
reason, yeah, that's the reason I never like focused on my studies, just music. So yeah, like that's what you need to do. Keep everything outside, all of your problems and everything. You come into music, you just get lost into music, make music. um, Other than that, I think this just this camaraderie that I don't know if it's still there in the music club, but like from what I saw last, everyone's sitting together, singing together, and all those things, like those reels and everything I like see every day. So I think it's still there. But again, now that the bands will be forming, and now that you will be butting heads as competing bands and everything, the music club might get much more divided than it has. And I wish I was still there as a Gen 6, so that I could teach my juniors. Because you know I
Transfer
think,
knowledge.
transfer
Couldn't have
knowledge
taken
myself.
notes.
That actually didn't
Yeah,
happen. This.
but that never happened for us, because when I was the Gen Sec and Adit, batch came into the college, it was COVID, and then none of our experiences and none of our, the things that we did and things we would prevent our juniors from, mistakes we would prevent our juniors from making. We never got to, share those info, I guess. So yeah, just be dedicated. Keep all of your problems and all of your, things out of the music club, and then use music club as a way of, a healing, way of expressing your emotions, and let the music that comes out of you be 100% genuine. So, I think using these couple of things, I think people can, make the most out of their time in the music club. Yeah.
One more thing, if you really want to get inspired and become a drummer, go to Tapa's Instagram. There is a video he posted some time ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Crazy
we
good.
shared it a lot. Yeah,
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 we
I,
all
I
shared
I
it in
know
those
exactly
groups.
what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Go watch.
Right.
Yep.
It's literally just, I don't know what it is even.
Dude, I mean, that actually brought back my memories, bro. Like, it actually resonated with me so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that has a lot of old clips, like really,
Yeah,
really
I
old
know,
clips,
right?
old music room,
Good
Yeah.
old
old
people in
times.
there. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that was amazing. So, but we have to end this right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing all these information with us. And I'm really glad that we both at least got the chance to have a conversation with you guys.
Yes.
Again, we have heard so much about you from our seniors. It's just like story after story every single day. So thank you for sharing all your knowledge. Thank you for everything. Thank you, guys. So
Thanks
we
for
Thank
are
you
having
for
us.
having us.
yeah we'll end the stream. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, guys. If there's any questions you guys have, just send it to us. We will forward it to them. Thank
Yeah,
you for
you can
joining
just
us.
put our I guess what, Instagram links, Balaji.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We we shared your Spotify accounts earlier today, so we'll
Okay,
put
okay.
your Instagrams as well. Yeah.
Yeah, if any questions, they are free to, any music club member is free to contact us anytime.
Anything. I'm happy to help. More
Yeah.
than happy to help people.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much.